As the biggest shake-up of the drug driving laws for 85 years, a new law comes into force today which could result in a prison sentence, driving ban and criminal record for those who abuse prescription medication or take illegal substances before driving. Now, under the law, motorists could be prosecuted for driving with certain drugs in their system, being above the specified limit. Now, around half of the drugs listed are available on prescription. Let's talk to Rosendale-based Head of Motoring Law at Foster Dean Solicitors, Alison Ashworth. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Graham.
So, how have the drug drive laws changed this morning now?
Okay, well, previously, the prosecution would need to prove a level of impairment in a person's system. So, no drugs were listed under the old offence of driving whilst unfit through drugs.
None at all?
None at all. In fact, you could be prosecuted if you had cough medicine or hay fever in your system, but the key thing was that the prosecution needed to prove that your manner of driving was impaired, and they would do this by asking you to take a series of tests such as touching your nose, walking in a straight line, measuring the size of your pupils, whereas now under the new legislation they simply have to find a specific drug in your system, and the level of that drug has to be over the specified limit, so it's no longer necessary for them to prove any level of impairment whatsoever.
So all the illegal stuff's on there, so
Yeah.
Cannabis, cocaine, other stuff like that.
Yes.
But there's also people could get into problems with prescription drugs as well.
Yes, they could, yes. Around half of the medications listed are available freely on prescription.
Right.
And in fact, the Department for Transport estimates that around 19 million prescriptions are issued annually for these medications. So it is stuff that people are taking on a regular basis. So there has been quite a lot of concern that's been raised over this. But people really needn't be as concerned as what they probably are, because the limits for prescription medication have actually been set quite high. They've been set in line with or just above normal therapeutic doses, so a typical user of prescription medication is unlikely to be over the limit in the first place.
And the thing is, you know if you're not quite right, don't you? So if you're at home and you're on, some kind of cough medicine, something like that, you know if you're not quite right and you think I shouldn't be behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What about legal highs? Because it was something that we talked about last week. Because there are parts of the county, Blackpool, is banning some shops from actually selling them.
Yeah.
A lot of people take the legal highs because it has that word legal in front of it, and they think it's not going to cause any problem. But you shouldn't get behind the wheel of a car, should you?
No, absolutely not. Legal highs aren't specified under the new offence. However, again, people would still be liable for prosecution if they had them in their system if their manner of driving is impaired. And it's more than likely going to be impaired if you're taking a substance like that.
And this could lead, ultimately, to people being banged up, couldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Within the old law, it was up to 6 months in prison and a minimum of a 12-month ban, and that's the same under the new legislation. So these laws work alongside each other. One hasn't abolished the other, but yeah, under both, it's a minimum of a 12 months disqualification from driving and up to 6 months in prison.
Obviously, I think now that the drink drive message has got across, it's going to take some time for the drug drive message, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it will. The government has rolled out drug analyzers across the country. Now, these aren't necessarily available in all forces just yet, and not everybody's been trained on them, but it will become routine for a person to be tested at the roadside for drugs in their system.
Right.
At the moment, we can only be tested for cocaine and cannabis, so the remainder of the drugs will still need to be picked up by impairment tests, but I do certainly think that the government and the police are going to be paying a lot more attention to this as an issue, and more routine testing will be done.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us this morning. Thanks a lot. Alison Ashworth, who is Head of Motoring Law at Foster Dean Solicitors, Rosendale-based.